Hello, this is Joanne. Welcome to my garden. I have 67 raised beds in my garden, and this is one that has to be cleaned out. It is October the 11th, I do believe. Yes. We'll just go with it, whether it is or not. And we are going to work on getting this bed cleaned out. The strawberries have run their course. They've overgrown, and I'm going to be putting garlic in this bed. So enjoy. We're going to speed this up. Okay.
Why are you going to speed it?
Well, because not everybody wants to watch us just clean beds, but they like to see how we do it. I'm just going to try to get a start here. I'm not really looking to dig the bed out. So just pull as much as you can, but leave the dirt behind, okay?
I only got the tiny little roots.
That's okay.
Seriously.
I'm not worried about saving the strawberries that are in this bed because they're mostly wild strawberries. We're going to be putting them in the back. And I have another bed, a small bed of strawberries that all have daughter plants in it that we can move around. So.
What daughter plants?
So, yes, it is in bed. Can I talk to the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. So this, I gotta check to see if I can get this in focus. Okay, so this is a strawberry that's coming out of here, crown. This is a daughter plant, and it actually has another daughter plant on it. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna save a bunch of these, and they're gonna go in the fields. They're mostly wild strawberries that have crossed with an everbearing. So they're still sweet, they're still pretty good, but I just want to get them out of the garden and into it. So when I re-put them into the soil, they will be, let me see, buried up to about there. So you don't want to rebury this crown. You just want to put, this is the soil line. You want to put that back into the ground. And then these will hopefully start to grow in the back in the fields, which is a good place for them to grow. Oh. Go away. Scared me. Keep going. How come we're down here for a while? It's cool out today. I think it's like 59 degrees, which to me is beautiful. He's slow moving. So we'll just leave him be. I didn't know he was in there, but at least if I see a snake in a garden bed like that, I can usually be assured that there's no mice nests. So I'll take that as a win. And I'll talk to you a little bit about what I've been finding so far. Mostly what I've been finding is just strawberries. So far I found one weed. This is what happens when you have something that's covering the bed completely. And I did weed a couple times. But when your plants start covering the bed, the benefit is that you don't get the weeds. So, but you might get a snake. Sorry, didn't mean to I scared myself. Okay. Just so you know, he's a garter snake. He's not poisonous. Thank goodness. I'm not gonna lie, the closer I get, the more anxious I get. Blah! Okay. This is just the second weed that I found. So it's pretty good. Looks like a dandelion family. It's hard to tell. But that's what growing, I mean, normally for a bed like this, you find a lot of weeds. So this one is a second dandelion, or second weed. It does look like a dandelion. There's no thorns. Don't know where he is or she. Everything's gone. When you see white roots like this, don't worry. That's just a natural process of breakdown. It's not anything to be concerned or worried about. So. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get my husband to come out here and clean up these things, and I'll finish later. Some of you are probably like, I'd be running screaming out of the garden, but I've come across the snakes before. They're really not that bad when you come across them. They scare you, and that gets me bothered. That bothers me more than anything else. But honestly, I'm glad they're in the garden. I wouldn't harm them. So there is one that could possibly be poisonous in my area, but it prefers wetlands and water areas. So it's the Mississauga. I've done a lot of research on them. I'm doing more and more research in my garden as I do more gardening. Whereas when I was working, I would have been doing more research on accounting. But we're just going to leave that little patch for now, and we will come back later. It's starting to warm up a little bit, so he's more likely to move on, or she, and we'll see you later. I'll tune you in when we get out here and clean up. Okay. For me, it'll be a little break. For you, it'll be just a second. Comes the Calvery. The snake was down here, so I don't know if he went far or he went back in under, or if he went that way. So just warning you, so you don't pick a snake up. I'm just going through the bed real quick right now, and I'm looking for any crowns that are still left, that are still attached. Do I expect to see any strawberries in this bed? Maybe. I always miss one. There's always going to be one that the crown hung on. And so the next thing that's going to happen in this bed is the garlic is going to be planted. Now I bought a little, after my little incident with my onions being a little too close together again, I bought one of those little spacer machines. Those little, they just look like forks. But it turned out that it was a nice play toy, so I've got to go find it. And it's getting to be late here. Sun's starting to go down, so it looks like that it will be tomorrow. But this bed is pretty prepped. What I'm going to do is I have some fertilizer that's just for garlic. It's an organic fertilizer. I do have some other fertilizer that'll stretch that, because I use Keen Organics for my garlic. Their garlic that they send me is usually really good. I bought a couple of pounds of it. I'm going to use the biggest cloves. The littlest cloves I'm going to still use, but I'm going to put them towards the back. So that's how I usually do it. And then garlic goes in the ground now. It's October for me. So the garlic is going to go in the ground with fertilizers. We're going to cover this with leaves. And then what's going to happen is by next July, we will actually be we'll be harvesting it. And the benefit of that is then after that, I can start perpetuating. I can save the biggest garlic cloves and use those to replant. The reason I didn't do that was because I actually skipped a year. I have another video where I left the garlic in the garden and the bulbs were tiny. So I didn't want to reuse that garlic. I wanted to get some more certified seed garlic. It costs a bit more. But I've used them. I used Keen about 4 years ago, so that's how long I've actually been going with them. So I use them again. So they just have very good quality garlic as far as I'm concerned. I had no rot, no issues with the garlic. So, but it looks like the snake is gone. Thank goodness. I don't deal with snakes very well, but I have to be brave and come back out here. I can't just completely ignore my garden. I have to come back out and do this. So the garlic has to get in the ground. For me, the recommendation is October the 15th. I go with Keen's. I think they're based in Maine. I go with their recommendation because they are the garlic experts and I am not. But I do grow great garlic. So you will see that going in. You will see it going in with the garlic fertilizer. You will see it going in with a little bit of my organic fertilizer. I'm not going to use a synthetic fertilizer. And then we'll be covering this with leaves to kind of insulate it. So it looks pretty good. The soil is pretty good in here. I've run into a couple of wireworms, but otherwise, wireworms usually never bother the garlic. Not as much as it bothers the potatoes and the carrots and now the radishes. So, but that's it. You got to see the garden clean out. I'm going to make it a second one where I plant the garlic. So thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And as always, take care and don't give up. It's so easy in this day and age to give up. Don't give up. Thank you for watching.